Directed by Gareth Edwards, Jurassic World Rebirth is a fresh start for the series that shifts the focus away from established characters. Being the latest entry in Hollywood's long-running science fiction action franchise, Jurassic World Rebirth left some threads for a potential sequel to pick up. But there are still many big question marks surrounding how it might actually play out. As the 4th Jurassic World movie and 7th Jurassic Park movie, Jurassic World Rebirth acts as a soft reboot for the franchise. We see Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, and Mahershala Ali star as 3 members of an expedition bound for one of the last environments left on Earth where dinosaurs can thrive without human interference. But things definitely go south when the new crew is tasked with retrieving DNA samples from the 3 largest remaining dinosaurs on the island. And predictably, Jurassic World Rebirth's ending sees the surviving members of the cast struggling to escape the mutant D-Rex, with the means to change their world forever. Jurassic World Rebirth's cast of characters spend most of the film doing their best to survive, with the largely standalone adventure backing away from the grander world building of the previous trilogy to focus more on dinosaur thrills. Although the film ends fairly conclusively, it also lays the seeds for a possible sequel that expands on the revelations about InGen's previous experiments. So what's next for this 32-year-old franchise? Without wasting another moment, let's get right into it. The ending of Jurassic World Rebirth has the ability to potentially alter the entire franchise. If you've watched the film by now, you're already aware that the mission for the hunting party in Jurassic World Rebirth was to discover the DNA of 3 massive dinosaurs. The theory was that this could potentially allow scientists to develop new life-saving medicines, albeit it was under the control of the pharmaceutical company that Krebs works for. Now, when Loomis suggests making the information public, Zora agrees upon it in the ending of Jurassic World Rebirth, which of course could lead to a radically different future for humanity in Jurassic World Rebirth. While dinosaurs still roam the world, we see right from the beginning of the film how humanity has lost much interest in saving them. But this discovery could reinvigorate the public's desire to have dinosaurs around, further leading to a truly hybrid world. Moreover, the discovery of mutant dinosaurs might also lead more ambitious scientists to develop mutant dinosaurs, potentially creating a whole new breed of weapons. This could bring the new characters into the orbit of the villains from the previous trilogy, or at least the ones that are still alive. Really, just anything is possible. But you should know that Jurassic World Rebirth is specifically designed as something of a fresh start for the franchise. Although it definitely builds on the events of the previous films, it still remains unconnected to the characters that we've seen along with their personal storylines. However, there are some threads between the old and the new characters that could be played upon in future stories. Jonathan Bailey's Loomis is the new dinosaur expert introduced in the film, who reveals to Zora that he was a student of Alan Grant. Given that he was one of the lead protagonists of the original trilogy before he returned for Jurassic World Dominion, Grant's status as a teacher suggests that he has settled down once again in the years since Dominion. Plus, Jurassic World Rebirth also reveals the fate of InGen, which has gone fully bankrupt. It was through these legal proceedings that the Krebs company discovered the existence of the mutant dinosaurs, as well as their potential health benefits. But this also leaves a vacuum open for other companies to step in, especially after the true potential of dinosaur DNA is exposed to the world at large. Did the latest Jurassic film set up for any potential sequel? Now, for the most part, Jurassic World Rebirth feels like a one-and-done story, because the Delgado family arc ends with the group reaffirmed in their love for one another, especially after the initially skeptical Ruben comes around on Xavier. Likewise, the character arcs of Zora, Loomis, and Duncan feel fairly complete by the film's end. However, the conclusion of Jurassic World Rebirth does leave enough lingering threads that a storyline could easily expand into a sequel. Like I've mentioned before, the discovery of dinosaur DNA's potential could easily allow new faces to continue experimenting, leading to more mutant variants. I personally think a return to Isle St. Hubert could be a rather handy way of introducing more dinosaur variants. Apart from that, the mysterious fate of the island's workers and leadership could also be easily revisited for a sequel. I think Jurassic World Rebirth has laid the groundwork for an unpredictable future for the franchise, which makes it all the more exciting.
Please open the door for me!
Is there any news about a Jurassic World 5? As of now, after the release of Jurassic World Rebirth, there's been no confirmation that a sequel has been greenlit. According to director Gareth Edwards' plan, he has no intention of returning to the franchise for a sequel, even though it's still entirely possible that a whole new film could move it forward without his involvement. The main determining factor will always be the box office return of the first movie. Jurassic World Rebirth is projected to yield more than $260 million worldwide by the end of its 5-day opening weekend, which will also include the 4th of July holiday in the United States. Plus, with a budget over $180 million to $220 million, there's a good chance the movie is profitable even if it doesn't match the billion-dollar box office highs of the original Jurassic World trilogy. And going by the reports, Jurassic World Rebirth will have a great return overseas of at least $130 million, which should bring it to more than double the number it needs to turn a legitimate profit in short order. If the appetite for more Jurassic movies is still there, it seems like a foregone conclusion that Universal will press on with the franchise. So even if the next movie isn't a direct sequel to Jurassic World Rebirth with Gareth Edwards out, another standalone movie that plays off of Rebirth could prove just as profitable. Now, if you're wondering about making a potential comeback, well, despite the litany of ultra-dangerous mutant dinosaurs that the human characters of Jurassic World Rebirth faced, the body count for the sci-fi adventure movie was relatively low. Zora Bennett, Dr. Henry Loomis, and Duncan Kincaid all survived the events that happened on Isle St. Hubert, and could theoretically return as Loomis attempts to share the life-saving DNA with the world. Plus, Rulfo's Delgado family wound up on the island accidentally, and while all three Delgados and the comic relief specialist Xavier Dobbs survived, it seems unlikely that they'll make a return in a sequel. There's simply no storyline left for them to continue the franchise after spending the entire movie trying to escape dinosaurs. What possible storyline can Jurassic World Rebirth set us up for? So honestly speaking, just like Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park, Edwards' new film succeeds as a self-contained story arc that doesn't need a sequel. Despite some references to the previous Jurassic Park and Jurassic World films, Edwards' movie feels like a separate story within the franchise's world, as we see no legacy characters appearing in the story, and no major plot points needed in order to be resolved in another film. Jurassic World Rebirth ends with Zora departing the dino-filled island, carrying the DNA needed to create a cure for heart disease. However, the film doesn't seem to depict many significant changes to the world beyond that, as humanity's overall relationship with dinosaurs remains the same. Unless Gareth Edwards can ideate a continuation, ending Jurassic World Rebirth's story the way it did seems like the best decision for the franchise. Although it seems like he would want to make another Jurassic World film, it sounds like he would rather not make a movie that he thinks wouldn't satisfy audiences or live up to the standards set by the original. All in all, it's too early to tell if the director will return to continue the Jurassic World franchise on the big screen. But even if he does continue the film with a sequel, the only major thread that could potentially lead into one relates to the DNA that Bennett, Loomis, and Kincaid managed to make it off the island with, while Martin Krebs wanted to use it to create a life-saving heart disease drug that his pharmaceutical could control. The survivors intend to share the DNA with the world and save lives without racking up astronomical profits. Moreover, the island full of mutants or gargantuan dinosaurs is still perfectly intact, as the only major dinosaur death was a gunned-down Mutodon. And there are of course plenty of convoluted reasons the new characters could find to go back to the island, in order to make the Lost World Jurassic Park-esque sequel to the Jurassic World Rebirth perfectly possible. But that's just my 2 cents. What do you guys think about this? Do we need a continuation of Jurassic World Rebirth, or will a standalone film be a better deal for when the franchise pelts out the 5th installment? Let us know about your thoughts and theories in the comment box below.